I've seen a lot of games, and I have a feeling this one is going to be special.
Week 12 of the greatest team season begins in Detroit on Thanksgiving. Packers and Lions. Brett Favre, who played well in the first meeting at home against Detroit, throws a trio of touchdowns today, 2 to Keith Jackson, in a Packers rout. The Lions fall to 0-11 after this loss by the final of 30-7. Two of the great football teams of all time meet on Thanksgiving, 76 Raiders and the 92 Cowboys. Alvin Harper's 2 first-half touchdown grabs give him 7 this year, tied for the league lead. Emmitt Smith rips off a 73-yard run. He had a great day. And the Cowboys steamroll Oakland at home, and they're now 6-5 this season and still first in the NFC East. Emmitt Smith ran for 156 yards and a touchdown in the Dallas win. After the Oakland loss, the 98 Broncos could take first in the AFC West with a win on Thursday night. We're tied at 3 in a defensive duel, then Sims comes out of the half with an 89-yard touchdown strike to Phil McConkey, and the Giants take a 10-3 lead, but they wouldn't score the rest of the day. Derek LaVille with a short touchdown and Terrell Davis with a long one. The Broncos find their way in the second half, and trailing by 10, they go for it on 4th and 2, and Joe Morris is stuffed. Denver's won 2 in a row and has found their rhythm in the AFC with a 20-10 home win over the Giants. 2006 Colts and the 2011 Texans. Winner takes first place in the AFC South. Marvin Harrison had a brilliant 2-touchdown day for the Colts, but he wouldn't be outdone by Houston's Andre Johnson, who had 2 touchdown grabs too, and the Texans lead at the 2-minute warning, 24-20. Manning comes back with a touchdown drive capped by Clark, so Houston's going to need to make something happen late. Nat Shaw buys time and finds Arian Foster, who slips a tackle and gains 22 on the catch. Texans use a few timeouts and lean on the Pro Bowler on the ground. This on the stretch run to set him up for a Matt Leinart field goal, a make, and we're going to overtime, and that kick is good from 42. Free football from Houston. The Texans win the toss and they'll receive it. Schaub throws a brutal interception here to Cato June on the first overtime drive, and Adam Vinatieri wouldn't be denied as he buries the field goal to win the game. Indianapolis has won 4 straight, now at 6-5, first in the division. Winner takes first in the NFC North too, 85 Bears and 98 Vikings. Walter Payton struggled to run the ball today, but made up for it with this touchdown catch from 38 yards. Bears take the lead 13-6 late in the half. Cunningham throws one towards the end zone, initially ruled out of bounds. Upon further review, they give Reed the catch, even though it looked like he didn't drag a back foot in. And Minnesota would score a play later with a Charles Evans game-tying touchdown. Into the fourth quarter, Robert Smith with the play of the day slips through a tackle from everybody for a 71-yard go-ahead touchdown. Minnesota nurses a 2013 lead, and the defense delivers a stop. Walter Payton could do a lot, but not quite that much. Vikings get the ball back. The better running back on this day, Robert Smith, sets up the game-clinching Gary Anderson field goal. The Vikings are the new division leaders, led by a 112-yard performance from their tailback, Robert Smith. Minnesota and Chicago both at 7-4 this season. Entertaining game between the 08 Cardinals and the 99 Titans, and the Stars were out from Nashville, beginning with the Pro Bowler Eddie George, as he breaks free for a 58-yard touchdown to get the scoring started less than a minute into the game. Warner would bounce back with a touchdown pass to Larry Fitzgerald, his first and 2. George finds the end zone again on this 58-yard pitch play, and the Titans snag a double-digit lead. Fitzgerald late in the first half on the quick slant beats the linebacker. Why would you match him up on him? We're tied at 17. Steve Preston's turn to find the end zone as he spins free for a 47-yarder. Third touchdown today for Eddie George. We're headed to overtime, tied at 24. First Cardinal drive in OT is a stop here from Anquan Bolden. McNair has a chance to win the game here. Instead, the offense goes 3 and out. First play of their next drive, Warner goes deep to Steve Preston, who makes the catch, gets by the defense, and wins the game in overtime. Arizona with 3,000-yard receivers in 08. They were so good on offense and torched that secondary again, led by 419 yards and 4 touchdowns in a Hall of Fame day from Kurt Warner. Redskins have won 2 in a row, now at 5-5, fresh off a victory against Dallas. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, sputtering this year, has lost 3 straight, now at 2-8. Darren Sproles gets the scoring started with a big punt return touchdown. Fly, Eagles, fly. The Eagles were up 10-0 in the game, but Washington battled back and had the 13-10 edge. Then Wentz launches a 40-yarder to the rookie Mac Hollins, and it's the Redskins defense that makes a big stop with Philly up 4, so they've got a shot to win the game here. This is Rippon on 4th down, throwing to Gary Clark to keep the game alive. Another 4th down face from Rippon, and he convert again to Don Warren, who had no one in front of him for the touchdown, dragged down by McLeod at the 7. 3rd and goal from the 5. Rippon is sacked with 17 seconds left. Plenty of time to get a playoff with no timeouts, but they'd run a tight end motion here with Don Warren and do not get the snap off, and the Eagles survive. 17-13 victory for Philadelphia. In the rematch of a Week 4 thriller from South Florida, Wamba the Dolphins 31-24. Greasy and Kelly would meet again in the cold from Orchard Park. 37 degrees at kickoff between the Dolphins and the Bills. Miami's first drive was a thing of beauty, led by the 5th leading rusher Larry Zonka, capped by a Mark Fleming touchdown. After a Bills punt, they'd score again. This is Jim Kick on 1st and goal for an 8-yard touchdown. Kelly would respond with a score to James Lofton, but Miami finds the end zone for the 3rd straight drive to begin the game. This is Jim Kick again. After that missed Scott Norwood extra point, Dolphins lead at the half 21-20. Buffalo, it appeared, scored the touchdown here to take the lead, but Dom Beebe dropped it right out of his hands in the end zone. They settled for a field goal. Luckily for Kelly and company, that defense was fantastic in the second half. Davis is stopped here on 3rd down, so the defense, desperate for a win, they're going to need another stop. Greasy comes out with a big pass to Hall of Famer Paul Warfield, but later in the drive, Shane Conlon gets by the line and sacks Greasy here. 4th and 14, this for the game, and Greasy's throw is incomplete. Buffalo knocks out the best team in the AFC East. That offense has been brilliant, scoring 23 points per game over the last month. The Bills keep their playoff hopes alive with a win today. They are now 6-5 this season. 2015 Panthers at the 1968 Jets. New York fullback Matt Snell ran wild in this game, beginning in the first quarter with a 53-yard sprint right past that vaunted Carolina defense for the New York lead. Late in the second quarter, Snell would score again, this time from 36 yards. Jets lead at the half 20-7, but league MVP Cam Newton comes back in the 3rd with a touchdown to Corey Brown. Panthers trim the lead to a field goal, and the defense stops Mathis on 3rd down, giving this team a chance. Newton needs a touchdown for the win, finds Cotchery, who nearly scores, dragged down from behind. They'd settle for a Gano field goal, this for overtime, and it's no good. He missed it just by inches off the left side. Gano, the usually efficient kicker, cost them the game, and the Jets upset the Panthers. Speaking of upsets, the 87 Browns go into Cincinnati and knock out the 88 Bengals. Bernie Kosar played well with a pair of touchdown passes, and it's only the 3rd game this year where he hasn't thrown an interception. Meanwhile, Boomer Esiason did, driving late down 10, picked off by Mark Harper to seal it for Cleveland. 20-10 victory, and the Browns are now 4-7. Bengals fall to 5-6. Meanwhile, the Seahawks can't afford a 5-6 start to the season, but they're playing one of the best teams in the league in the 99 Rams. Wilson would throw a couple touchdown passes in the first half, doing his part, both to Zach Miller. It looked like Seattle would lead at the break 17-10, but that reliable defense gives up a big play to Isaac Bruce, and it was Richard Sherman. What are you doing? Getting beat right by him late in the first half. We go into the break tied at 17. The defense would make amends, though, in the 3rd quarter as Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith, with a one-handed interception, takes it away for Seattle, setting up a Hauschka field goal. And the following Rams drive wouldn't be much better. Ricky Prohl stopped here on a 3rd down. 23-17 lead for Seattle, and the defense would win the game for them on the next drive. 4th interception of the season from Byron Maxwell, and Seattle stuns the Rams. 23-17 victory for the Seahawks. Rams fall to 8-3. The 1998 Falcons have played 10 games, all decided by one possession this season. That wouldn't be the case today. Chris Chandler throws a couple of touchdowns in the first half, while Ronald Jones finds the end zone. This was all Atlanta. Antonio Brown on the return coughs up the football, and Todd Kinchin brings it back for the touchdown. Atlanta routs their division rival to stay alive in the playoff race. Final score 29-17. Winner goes to 6-5 in a thrilling battle out of the AFC West. 19 Chiefs and the 06 Chargers. Both quarterbacks played well in this one, Patrick Mahomes and Phillip Rivers, but it was the Chargers signal caller that get on them early with a touchdown to Vincent Jackson. Mahomes bounces back with this score to McCoy, and in the third quarter we're tied at 10. Mahomes goes deep here and finds Tyreek Hill for a 44-yard touchdown. What was Cam Cameron of the Chargers doing? Safety Clinton Hart, no match for the speedster Tyreek Hill. 17-10 Kansas City, and they score again in the fourth quarter. It appeared they were in full control. Does the Chargers offense have a chance to score twice? Well, they do once. They'll need a stop here, and they get it. So does Phillip Rivers have a comeback in him? They need a touchdown for overtime. McCardell was huge on this drive with a couple critical catches. And now San Diego, out of timeouts, is inside the 5. After a false start, they have 3rd and goal back in the 8. Rivers throws and is nearly picked off to end the game to Kendall Fuller, dropped by the cornerback, and the Chargers get one more chance. 4th and goal from the 8, this for overtime, and Rivers throws to Brandon Monomaliuna for the touchdown, and we're headed to OT. San Diego wins the toss, and they'll receive. This is Cromartie from the goal line, and he brings it back to about the 25, but is wrapped up by the face mask, sending up great field position for San Diego, and the Chargers would capitalize after an Eric Parker catch. Nate Kading a chance to redeem himself after a brutal miss earlier this year against Oakland, and he would. Chargers win the game 27-24. 99 Jaguars at the 89 Niners. San Francisco has the best offense in the league, and they were terrific yet again. Roger Craig catches the touchdown here. Meanwhile, the Jaguars' Mike Hollis did not have quite as good of a performance. Missed one here from 46. Then with a chance to tie the game, another 46-yarder, and Hollis hooked it again. San Francisco leads in the second half, 13-7. We'd be tied if Hollis made those kicks. Brunell bounces back with a touchdown to McCardell, and now they trail by 2 late in this one. 4th down, and Shelton converts to keep the Jags' comeback chances alive. 4th and 10, another conversion, this one to Reggie Barlow, setting up Mike Hollis to redeem himself. This for the win, 42 yards, and it's no good again. Hollis misses 3 field goals in a brutal loss against San Francisco. 16-14, the 49ers win it and are now the new division leaders in the NFC West. 2 of the nastiest defenses in NFL history meet in the rain on Sunday night. The Ravens' Ray Lewis was the leader of that 2000 ball club, and he'd pick off his first pass of the season here. A bad throw from Terry Bradshaw, and it sets up the first of, 3 touchdown passes from Trent Dilfery as the game of his life against the Steel Curtain. This one of the fourth quarter, Kadri Ismail to put the Ravens up late, 20-17. The defense needs another stop, and on 4th down and 3, they would deliver with a big interception here at Terry Bradshaw. That's James Trapp to seal a Baltimore win, and a huge one too over the Steelers, 20-17. One of the great quarterback battles in NFL history was the many great games between Brady and Breeze. 7-3 Patriots, 5-5 Saints on Monday night. Brady would make a big mistake early, though, with a 70-yard pick six to Randall Gay. And after a Lance Moore touchdown, a couple of field goals, New Orleans leads New England 20-7. Brady would find his security blanket, though, in the second half. A couple of touchdowns off of Vince Wilfork's safety, too, and the Patriots are in front. 23-20, Moss has 7 touchdown grabs this year. Breeze would make a brutal mistake. Randall Gay, who played for the Patriots too, pick six, and New England is up 30-20. But Breeze, to his credit, would bounce back on this drive after a big pass to Meacham. That is Lance Moore for the 46-yard touchdown. The defense would need a stop to give Breeze a chance, and they do just that, a stop from Kevin Falk. Breeze with another shot. Lance Moore, a foot race to take the lead, upended here at the 20-yard line, but the Saints still have a chance for touchdown, but would settle for the field goal off a Thomas run. We are headed to overtime. Patriots win the toss and the offense goes 3 and out. New Orleans gets a chance. Jeremy Shockey had a couple big catches to begin overtime. This one sets him up near the red zone, and then after a Meacham grab, they wouldn't take any chances. Hartley for the win, and the kick is good. He buries all 4 field goals to help win it for the Saints, 33-30. Patriots still a game back of the Dolphins in the AFC East. That was Week 12 of the greatest team season.